Amelia Edwards was born in 1831, just before the Victorian age, and died in 1892, just before its end. She's called the Godmother of Egyptology, but there was a lot more to her than that. What made her an Egyptologist in the end was that she loved to travel, and make note of the things she saw wherever she went. Egyptology actually came to her in middle age. She had plenty of interest outside of it. As a child, she was a passionate and talented artist, but her parents discouraged this craft lest she live a life of obscurity or worse, scandal. She took an interest in music, particularly opera, but a childhood illness robbed her of her singing voice. As an adult, she turned to the literary arts and enjoyed some success as a novelist, with a particular talent for using her own life experiences as inspiration for her settings and characters. She was also a fairly prolific writer of ghost stories, making her one of the spookiest Egyptologists. In her early 20s, Edwards got engaged at her parents' insistence, or at least to pacify their concerns that she would go unsupported, but the engagement didn't last. In fact, Edwards took very little interest in men and her companions were primarily women. Her first great friend was Lucy Renshaw. I'm not trying to be coy with the phrase great friend. The two may very well have enjoyed a romantic relationship, though if they did, it looks like their friendship outlasted it. By the time Edwards and Renshaw toured Egypt in the winter of 1873-74, Edwards appears to have already been romantically involved with one Ellen Brasher. In Egypt, Edwards discovered a fascination for both the ancient and modern cultures of the Nile, and this fascination would develop into a passion that would envelop her for the rest of her life and career. Not quite 100 years had passed since the Egyptian language had begun to be translatable, after almost 2 millennia of failed attempts. And with each new monument described, each new papyrus translated, the civilization of ancient Egypt seemed to come back to life before Amelia's eyes.
It may be said of some very old places, as well as of some very old books, that they are destined to be forever new. The nearer we approach them, the more remote they seem. The more we study them, the more we have yet to learn. This is true of many ancient lands, but of no place is it so true as of Egypt. Old truths receive unexpected corroboration. Old histories are judged by the light of new readings. Fresh wonders are disclosed wherever the spade of the digger strikes new ground.
She soon became aware of the cost of Europe's rising obsession with ancient Egypt, decrying what she called the lamentable tale that scientific curiosity should give birth to ignorance because so many items of historical importance were stolen or destroyed in archaeologists' haste to uncover them. Edwards didn't simply observe this sad fact, she did something about it. In 1882, she co-founded the Egypt Exploration Fund, which sought to fund expeditions into Egypt and raise public awareness of the need to preserve antiquities. In short, to make Egyptology a proper scientific endeavour, not just a practice of curiosity and treasure hunting. So taken was she by this cause, that she largely gave up her fiction writing in favour of Egyptological writing and lecturing. In 1892, when Amelia was 60, her partner of 30 years, Ellen Brasher, passed away. The two had lived together near Bristol, functionally as wives, for all that Amelia was the same age as Ellen's late daughter. A few months later, Amelia herself would succumb to the flu. Amelia's grave adjoins Ellen's, and in tribute to her contribution to Egyptology, her headstone is an obelisk, and a stone ankh lies atop the plot. In 2016, Edwards' grave was listed by Historic England as an important site in British LGBT history. As a friend and colleague of Flinders Petrie, whose career she had no small part in jumpstarting, and a passionate believer in responsible archaeology, Edwards is best remembered as the mother of modern Egyptology. The field would not become more ethical overnight because of her efforts, but the difference she made is enduring to this day. The fund she established in 1882 continues, now managed by the Egypt Exploration Society, and it promotes the public awareness of ancient Egypt and Sudan, and nowadays has a particular interest in decolonizing Egyptology and magnifying Egyptian participation in the field. I'm not trying to paint Amelia Edwards as some perfect patron saint of Egyptology, but she truly was a Renaissance woman. What defines her life, I think, what makes her admirable to me, is a form of curiosity that took her out of the armchair. When she saw something, she took an interest in it, and when she took an interest, she took responsibility. So as we reflect upon her life, 130 years after her death, we should take inspiration from Amelia, and live as she lived, with open eyes, a willingness to learn, and the courage to try to change for the better how things are done. Thanks for watching. I know Egyptology is about a whole civilization, not just a few modern day figures, but we can only view the ancient past because those figures defined a new science as they helped invent it. I hope you find these biographies as interesting as I do. The learned friends sedately boating up the Nile with me one cool African winter are my backers at patreon.com/armchairegypt, and I'm very grateful that they let me spend my time indulging my curiosity. Until next time, my fellow armchair Egyptologists, life, prosperity, and health to you all.
Thanks for watching. Head over to my channel for more, or click here to see what the YouTube demons think you should watch next. I hope you'll consider subscribing. If you'd like to support and collaborate on the channel with me, go to patreon.com/armchairegypt. You can also join my Discord community, there's an invite link in the description.